You're inside the Press Box. Christian FM Sports presents Inside the Press Box, where we discuss all sports from our favorite high school team to college and pro. Here's your host, Paul Tipton and Gary Paris.
Hey, Vero Nation. We're back in the Press Box. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paul Tipton along with Gary Paris as we will have a bye week coming into this week for Vero Beach and a great time for the Indians to get a chance to kind of heal up and regroup. But before we talk about the off-week schedule, let's talk about the last game, and that was against our first district opponent, St. Lucie West Centennial. A little bit of a slow start for the offense for Vero Beach, but defense did its job to hold serve, so to speak. And then Vero Beach offense finally got it in gear late in the first quarter into the second quarter to eventually win 37-0, Gary. It was one of those games. I hate to say this, but I'm just going to say it. I think it was one of those games where Vero really kind of dropped down to the level of competition in the very beginning.
And that's one thing a coach will go and will come out and say, don't play down.
Mm-hmm.
Make them play up. Make them play to our level. Don't play to their level. And that's sometimes that's how coaches get into the players get into a lull and they find themselves trailing, or they find themselves not playing with such a upbeat, like when you play Buchholz or when you play Cocoa or when you played a Galley. Those were games that you didn't have to have a motivational speech.
Yeah.
You didn't have to tell them, hey, look who we're playing.
Yeah.
We knew who we were playing. And so this game was one of those where you look at the film and you saw things you're like, we're better than that.
Yeah.
We're better than that.
Yeah.
Okay. We're really better than that. And then you try to find something as a coach to say, hey, look, don't overlook this. Don't misinterpret the offense or misinterpret the defense, their style or their aggressiveness. And a lot of that is coach talking, trying to get them to play their game, keep their game at a high level. And I'm like you. I said it, I think, probably going to make Lenny mad, but I said it, that it was started out ugly. In the middle of the game, it was ugly. And at the end of the game, it was ugly. That was just an ugly game because we won 37-0. Now every coach that's ever coached will say, "Hey, 37 points on your opponent is pretty good." Yeah, you got a running clock, you got a chance to play everybody.
Yeah,
but you were never in danger of losing that game.
Well, I'll take it the other, and you're right. I would say that coming off of the first 3 weeks of the season, playing the level of competition that we played, and it was very tough opponents, you just kind of felt like, okay, this really should be a good, smooth win for Vero Beach. Now, give credit to the Eagles. They had a game plan. They came out, maybe disrupted some things, but there was also another factor in this, Gary. You said we got a chance to play everybody. Well, we actually got a chance to rest some players too, because we knew going into this game that, like, okay, we got some guys that are really banged up, and if we can, let's try to rest them, which we did. And so starting with that offensive line, Gary, you had a chance to kind of, give some guys rest. Big Champ, took the night off, or was given the night off, I should say. He was suited up. If he needed to play, he could have played. But, the recommendation was, hey, we got a chance to rest him. Let's rest him, give him a couple of weeks off and get ready, for the home stretch of the season. And that changed things in that offensive line. There were some guys that got moved around different positions. There were some guys that hadn't been getting some playing time that were put into the starting lineup. And it took a good quarter and a half, Gary, before we kind of got the rhythm and chemistry right for that offensive line. And once we did, my goodness, you saw, EJ had time to throw, and he found his receivers, including a couple of key touchdown passes.
Wow. You gave that line a lot of credit. At the end, that was a combination of 5 different a rotation of players around. You had guys that hadn't played tackle, play tackle. You had guys that were third string guards that got a chance to play in the game. You had combinations where you switched centers, and you had combinations where tackles were adjusted and all. So it's tough to find that continuity of a good line and all be in unison with one another if you haven't worked with one another.
Right.
It's not like you got your number one guys out there playing. And you're right. We did rest Champ. And Champ probably didn't play much that week, rested most of that week.
Yeah.
He'll probably rest most of this week.
Well, yeah.
Because we got the open date.
I see what you did there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he'll probably take some physical contact on game week.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, anybody that's banged up, now's the time. You'd love to have this. I'd like to think that's what Lenny had in mind when he set up his schedule to have those 3 tough ball games. Actually, 4 count Norland in the preseason.
Right.
Miami, Norland. So he had 4 straight games. And I think the coach's wisdom is he said, look, we're going to need a break right now. Because he said, we'll play one district game and then we'll have a break and then we'll come back and play Central. And I think if that is so true, then it was the right time to do it because now you got guys getting healthy for the crunch.
Yeah, I mean, look, Coach told us even last week when we were talking to him that, you can't foresee certain things happening. I mean, you don't know that there's going to be certain types of injuries and certainly certain players that could get injured. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like, man, what a great move, but you don't really know what's going to happen, come start of the season. We could have been 100% healthy at this stage and be thinking, all right, well, boy, it'd be great if we could play another game because we're on a roll right now, so you could change the storyline depending on the health of the team. But right now, yeah, it's a good time to have an off week.
I'm going to say this to our listeners that the most fun I had watching that game was in warmups. When Champ Mons was on a little cart with his, and he was scooting around with his knee, a foot leg or something. He was out there cheering the guys on. He stood out in front of it, and it was getting them fired up out there. And I looked out there and I went, "That's a team leader, man.
Yeah,
that's a team leader.
Yeah,
he's out there on the field with his teammates. He's got an ankle injury." And he can't walk on it. They got him in no weight on it. And he's there out there in the field cheering his teammates on, getting them fired up for the game. What a leader. I was impressed with that, watching that.
Yeah. And it was game-wise, it wasn't, was it our best performance? Probably not. But it was a solid performance, and we end up winning the ball game, which is ultimately what you want to do. It's 37-0.
Yes, you go into a game, you look at it, you're supposed to win that game. And Vero did.
Yep.
Vero won it.
Yep.
It doesn't talk about we had a beauty contest here. It talked about a football game.
Right.
And a football game can be ugly at times, and it can be great at times.
Yep. We
had that great game at Buchholz because of Crutch coming down the field and catching 3 passes, and we end up winning and on the winning drive on that. Yep. Those are important. You see the importance of those games and players and again, we won the game. Coach doesn't care how pretty it was or anything. It's a W. You got we didn't lose anybody else.
No.
But we got the rest a bunch of souls. And so now we've got ready. We're getting ready for next week for a good opponent, a worthy opponent that's 4-0.
Yeah.
But you look back at the Centennial game, and there's some good things I saw out there, Paul. I really did. I like the way E.J. White again has commanded his team. I agree. He ran the ball well.
Yeah.
He threw the right passes. He didn't get to play the second half because he didn't have to. I think he played one series of it or something.
Yeah, I think he played the first series, and that was it.
Yeah, and when we scored there, they just rested him. I mean, they put him down. I mean, the guy was he's been phenomenal for us.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
And so it was fun watching him run his offense and felt the leadership.
Gary, with EJ White, we could read all of the stat line stuff on him, and it's impressive. The thing that sticks out to me more than anything, 73% on his completion. That's amazing.
And again, he goes downfield a lot.
He does.
Crosses, he gets the short cross.
Look in this game. 3 touchdown passes.
Yes.
They were all 32, 34, 36, somewhere in that range.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, not one individual. It spreads the ball out all over.
Yeah.
Austin Banzaf, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. What a night for him. That was a great night.
Yeah. I was sitting there, I was laughing because you and I had our picture taken with his grandfather before the game.
Right, yeah.
He was a veteran. It was Veterans Night. Bill, yeah. And so when Bill, he was laughing, having a good time with us, got our picture taken, but he's out of Tennessee, listens to the game. What a great night for Grandpa to be there.
Oh, my goodness.
And her, Angela's dad was there.
Right, yeah.
So they had both grandfathers, Robin and Angela's fathers were there. What a great night to see your grandson catch 2 big touchdowns in that game.
Well, I was talking to Austin's parents a couple of weeks ago, and I was just commenting. I said, my goodness, it's great to see him catch the ball. And his mom told me that she said, he really, 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 really wants to score a touchdown because I think his brother Parker got, 1 touchdown in his career. And he's like, he really wants to get that. So at least he can say, I got a touchdown as well. Well, now he's one up to his big brother. He's got 2. That's cool.
He had a great game. I mean, those were some great catches, too. I mean, he had to fight for the ball on one of them. And
wow, what a catch.
Yeah, what a catch. And
maintain your balance and then run upfield.
Ran for the touchdown.
Yeah.
It was just fantastic. So you got to give White so much just praise because of his ability. He steps up in the pocket, does things. He runs when he has to. He throws the ball well.
Yeah. But you see, Gary, I mean, and we know this, and you in particular, you do a great job of pointing this out because as somebody who's played around the offensive line in your career, it's important to you. It's something that's, is a priority in your view, and rightfully so. When the offensive line is doing its job, White's got time to scan the field and look for the open receiver. When they were having trouble, he couldn't do anything. I mean, he was just scrambling, to try to get something positive out of the play. So it makes a huge difference what that line does. And we know that, but when you see a game like that, it's a good reminder.
Oh, we saw breakdowns. We saw guys just flat miss a block or not quick enough or not athletic enough to pick up that one player at that. And then you see your quarterback having to run for his life or adjust and step up and move over. And then you see your coaches. I mean, there's you can only yell at a kid so many times. All you can do is replace them.
Yeah.
And we saw that combinations out there trying to find that right combination.
Yeah. Yep.
At one time, you had 2 sophomores out there on the field trying to play and find that right combination.
Mm-hmm.
But it did. Give Kendrick Willis and Pete DeLuke do a good job with that offensive line. I really do.
They do.
I think they're good coaches, and I think they work very hard, and they try to make something happen with it.
Yeah, and again, I want to give some credit to Centennial because they were bringing a lot of pressure. And they knew that. They had a good game plan coming in. It was like, we're going to bring a lot of pressure and see how this quarterback reacts to it.
Yeah, you got to beat us with pressure in your face.
Yep. And when we were able to pick up those blitzes, that's when we really hurt them with some key passes. And so, it was an interesting ball game to say the least, Gary. It was overall was I don't know. It just felt like an off night, which I feel bad about because, it was military appreciation and, it had such a nice, pregame festivities going on and whatnot. You got the sheriff's chopper flying over, but I don't know. It just had a different vibe to it, Gary, and I don't know how to put my finger on it.
I think that we haven't given enough credit to the defense. Offensively, we just look flat at times.
Yeah.
But the defense, they gave up 119 total yards of offense.
It's pretty
the
good.
Whole game.
Yeah.
No score. So, they put those quarterbacks under pressure all night.
Yeah, they went through 3 of them.
They went through 3 of them. And, you have to step back and you say to yourself, wow. I mean, we had 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
2 interceptions. And
1 for a pick 6.
1 for the pick 6.
How about Trayvon Townsend? Woo. Wow. I mean, he's got some speed.
He's got some speeds, and he's got the ability to read the field and react.
Yeah.
That's what I was impressed with him, too. I mean, Centennial, I'm going to look at it, I say they got 8, 9, 10, 10 of 27 in passing.
Wow.
There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of incomplete passes.
Yeah. 2
interceptions, too. And so several sacks. I mean, it was a good job by the defense. Defense, you look out there. We were talking about how bad, sometimes the offense looked. How about the defense? They looked great.
Yeah, they did. They
only give up 116 yards.
Yep.
And they gave up no points.
Yeah.
Kudos to them.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Absolutely.
Bill Motto and his defense, they were ready to play. We saw guys out there jumping around, licking their chops, wanting to play. We saw a lot of players get into the game.
Yep.
So overall, Paul, I'm going to say this, and I really mean it. A win is a win.
Yeah.
It's a W.
It is.
And it is.
And I don't want to, it almost sounds like, we're kind of bad mouthing the team when they win 37-0. I agree. I think if it would have been, I hate to say this, but I'll just say it this way, with no disrespect to anybody, but when coming into this game that this, our team should, like you said, should win the game, it's better. We are better at the game right now than I think Centennial is. And so when you see things, you go, okay, if we play, if we're playing Cocoa right now, we may not win a game. If we're playing Buchholz like this, we're not winning a game. That's what you really are saying.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was you can look at it from professional to college all the way down. I remember a couple years ago from Florida State was 13-0. They left them off the playoff rotation because they have an injured quarterback. And 29 kids didn't play in the bowl game against Georgia. All starters and backups. And they got beat 63-something by Georgia. That was, again, there's an example where Georgia was supposed to win.
Right, yeah.
Florida State was not going to win that ball game.
Correct.
They had 29 kids that did not play. As their coach said, we didn't play Florida State. Teams have those bad nights or nights like that where you're not going to beat them. You're just not going to beat. Centennial was not going to beat Vero. Vero just had too many weapons, and to me, one of the best coaches in high school football, leading the team.
Yeah. So in the end, Vero Beach does get the win. They are now 4-0. Overall, they've got their first district win, so they're 1-0 in the district and got the week off. Next up will be Fort Pierce Central, who is also undefeated. They are also off this week, so they've got a week to prepare for Vero Beach, just like the Indians have a week to prepare for the Cobras. And again, Gary, this is going to be an interesting ball game. You've got 2 teams coming in undefeated. Maybe the level of competition, say, Fort Pierce has played has not been the same that Vero Beach has played. But there's always all kinds of little storylines. You've got a guy who was at Vero Beach and Coach Mike Watkins. He's been longtime friends with Coach Lenny Jankowski. They know each other. And so there's going to be a lot of preparation going on over the next week and a half or so, getting ready for this ball game, trying to figure out how do we get an advantage over this team.
There's a lot of Watkins on that team too.
Yes, there are.
They got a brother and a son. They're
Yeah.
coaching, and there's a plethora of information. And all those guys have. They're great coaches, good people too, and good friends of all of us. That know
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And but that stops right there.
Exactly.
Right here. We're right at
Yeah.
the border now.
Right.
Hey, wish you all luck.
Yeah.
No, I don't. But I'm going to say it. Okay. All right. And after the game,
We wish you the best for the rest of the season. How about
there
that?
you go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
even better. But it's going to be a good game. It's a different
Yeah.
game. The team that has home advantage with the crowd will be the have a little bit of an edge.
Well, you would think so. I mean, obviously we're heading down to Lawnwood Stadium. This will be a road game for Vero. I don't know what type of fan base the Cobras have right now. I mean, they've not had a lot of winning seasons over the last, 4 or 5 years or so. So a credit to Coach Mike Watkins for what he's been able to do with this program and turn them around. It's taken a couple of years, but he's getting them in the right direction. They're trending the right way. Could Vero Beach have more fans at the stadium? Possibly. And could that be an advantage for Vero Beach? Possibly.
Yeah, I'm just saying that likely the team that has the homes always has if two teams are totally equal. Yeah. I'm not sure these two teams are equal. I'm not sure Central is played a little bit of a, I want to say, I'll be honest with you, a little weaker schedule.
Right.
I mean, they haven't played Miami Norland. They haven't played a Galley. They haven't played Buchholz, and they haven't played Cocoa.
Right.
And whereas this team has played one of the toughest schedules out there in the area. So and this team is a veteran seasoned team already. But they're 4-0. That means they're winning their games. They're winning the ones they got on their schedule.
They are a confident team right now.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. And so, okay, you know what you got ahead of you, Gary. And, when it's the district games, just like in college, you got your conference games, and in the NFL, you got your divisional games. It means more. There's more to it. I don't care how you slice it. It's just there's more to it. You got guys that'll be on the opposite sideline that you've played with them. You've traveled. You've probably grown up with them. You've probably gone to school with them at various times. This is a different ball game, and anything can happen in these district games,
especially with the ability to open enrollment.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You get a lot of kids from Vero Beach are playing down in St. Lucie County. Kids from St. Lucie County are playing in Vero Beach and with open enrollment. So there's always those guys that know each other, grew up with each other when you see each other out there. And it makes a competitive game. I'm excited. I know that it'll be one of those games where we have be a real big, another one of our challenges. Yeah. It's another one of those tough games. We're going to look at, that'll be like our 5th tough game or 6th tough game in a row.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Counting Norland, our preseason game.
Yeah.
And so bring it on. Let's get ready.
All right. Hey, real quick before we head out of here, what's going on in the college level right now? I mean, I know what's going on with my team.
Oh yeah, we almost slipped right by that.
We almost didn't we?
Didn't we? Yeah. South Florida thinking they were going to come into Miami and beat
I will tell
Miami.
you this. I mean, I thought for sure the Canes would win the ball game. I did not see that kind of score. I will be honest. I did not see that kind of score.
I think that you got probably some of the best receivers in the country playing at Miami right now, and you've got an experienced quarterback that knows how to get the ball to them.
I'll tell you, I'm liking their defense, though.
And their defense playing heads up, and they're playing lights out.
Yeah.
And so it's exciting, and I feel bad whoever has to play Miami next.
Yeah.
And then I think
that would be the chomp.
Yeah. That's the. I was just gonna say the Gators better find a tough, better coordinator or whatever, because the kid threw 5 interceptions against LSU, and LSU I think only beat them by 10 points or something. Or
Yeah, wasn't by much. Yeah.
I watched part of the game. I watched it, and again, I felt bad for Lagway. He's a better athlete than that.
Yeah, well, everybody has a bad day.
Yeah,
everybody has a bad day.
He forced throws. He did things that were under pressure, but give credit to Brian Kelly's team. They flat just put it out there on him.
Yeah.
And
just don't ask him about the offense. That's all. Don't ask him about the offense.
Yeah, well, Coach, you won, but what happened? Oh, that reporter, he looked at her like it was, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but, Florida State had an open date. This week.
The Knights had an open date.
We had an open date. Now we got coming to our place is North Carolina. Bill Belichick.
Boy, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and you know what? They had a really good win. They've had some. They played Richmond, and they they did what they had to do in their game. TCU beat them up pretty bad opening game.
Yeah,
and but now they're going to come back and find out. Now this is a game. This is the last. Then everybody goes into their conference after this. They go. They have that ACC coming up, and then. We have the Big 12 run on ours then. So,
you ever cross paths with old Belichick?
Yes, when he was an assistant.
Oh yeah,
and when he was an assistant, he was also the head coach at Cleveland, but I was already gone from there at that time.
Yeah, well, that was back when they first started football, right?
Yeah. The hats were a little above the leather, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Hey, what's going on with the Dolphins, man?
Hey, boy, they man, that was a hard game to watch.
No kidding.
Night.
My goodness.
I was like, when you're a Dolphin fan,
you think their coach is going to make it through this season?
But hey, speaking of coaches that didn't make it, how about UCLA? Fired Coach Foster out there, and I'm thinking that who they bring in is important because they'll have an interim coach, and it's hard right now to hire a coach off of acting staff because they won't let you talk to them.
Right.
So they're going to have one of the interim coaches fill in for them.
And you talk about, the whole, 6 degrees of separation. Well, we only got a couple of degrees of separation when we got a couple of kids on the Veros team that have, at this point, verbally committed to UCLA. They got to be thinking, what's going on here?
Yeah, and I think what you do now is that the kids that are obligated have the right to really renege on theirs because you're not signed yet.
No, you're not.
And if you have any kind of a financial agreement with them, that's tough because sometimes they give high school kids can get NIL money through groups. There's ways of doing it, but
they could end up hiring a coach that they really like too and stay with it.
Yes, and then but that coach is not obligated to.
He's not. No.
And,
right.
Unless the athletic director says, I want to, this is part of the responsibility.
Sure.
We're going to hire you, but you're going to take these kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, from our perspective, I think they got a couple of good kids that could come to their program and really be contributors, but we'll see. I'm a little biased on that. So I think a lot of both of Big Champ and Zay, I think they're great kids. Yeah.
Champ's got a big old smile.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys off the field. You wouldn't think he was as mean as he can be on the field because he pops you. He pops you out there. His hands are moving. He loves to hit. He loves to be physical. Yeah. Off the field, he wants to talk fishing.
So, he does. He loves it. Absolutely loves it.
He's already graduated from junior college already. He's already got his he'll have his
he'll have his by December. He'll have his AA.
Yes, and he'll be able, be going in as a junior.
Yeah,
and have
but have all his eligibility.
Work on his masters and all that and everything. So,
that's awesome.
Smart kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, folks. Well, I think we've bent your ear enough in this episode of Inside the Press Box. We got a bye week, but we'll probably be back next week to talk a little football. Get set for our first district matchup our second district matchup with Fort Pierce Central down at Lawnwood Stadium. Gary, Paul, we're in the press box. Thanks for joining us. As always, go Indians.
Thanks for joining us inside the press box. For more, go to ChristianFM.com.